This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The visiting top boss of the BJP says the DMK was the Congress's outsourced agent to deliver the national loot, the people's money. Amma launches fresh salvos against the Spectrum King's misdeeds, demands why and how A. Raja got away with flouting so many rules. It's a sit-back for the QB. The special court in Karnataka rejects Jayalalitha's plea in the disproportionate assets case. AIA-DMK's history for MLA Shekhar Babu. He meets the DMK chief to join hands with the ruling party. After the big hint over a vacant seat for the chief minister's post by Karunanidhi, the brothers throw in a surprising united front. The CPM and the AIA-DMK get their seat negotiations in place. Round 1 of the talks take place today. In a case of mistaken identity, a woman claims she was molested and harassed by the police force for no reason. And the residents and employees of the OMR stretch are the black-faced victims of the smoke billowing from the garbage dump site in their neighborhood. This is the late night news on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew, bringing you the news and updates at this hour. A quick scan of the national headlines before we get you all that in detail. The CBI finally files an FIR in Mumbai's Other Society scam, names former Chief Minister Ashok Chavan. Adding insult to injury, Indian students duped into a US immigration racket are now made to wear radio trackers on their legs. More notices for cancellation of 2G licenses have been issued, says the telecom minister, promises a level playing field. The Egypt protests escalate. Hosni Mubarak fires his cabinet but refuses to stand down. President Obama urges restraint. And the Australian Open remains the slam that Lee H couldn't conquer. The Bryan brothers take home the doubles title. Well, on to our top story of today. The big boss of the BJP, Nitin Gadkari, was in the city today, leaving no chance to take pot shots at the DMK and former Minister A. Raja, saying they were responsible for the shame to the nation. Targeting Congress over the issue of corruption, BJP's president alleged it had outsourced the DMK for looting the people's money in the 2G spectrum allocation. Gadkari also claimed that the total money involved in the 2G scam was to the tune of 2,50,000 crore rupees, which was 3% of the country's GDP. Gadkari was leading the final leg of the Tamarai Yatra in Chennai. Through this, the National Opposition Party wants to infuse a new life into the party's hold in Tamil Nadu and also reach out to the masses directly ahead of the assembly polls. Crises like the price rise and inflation that have plagued the common man were also some of the main features in this Lotus rally. Meanwhile, slamming the former telecom minister, apart from the opposition party at the centre, was also the state's main opposition party. Jayalalitha has launched a fresh set of attacks on A. Raja, questioning as to why he had flouted TRI's recommendations, according to which the spectrum allocation should have been done through auction. She has demanded whether Raja got the cabinet's nod to allocate the 2G spectrum on priority basis and alleged that he had not gone by the recommendations of TRI. Continuing her scathing salvos, she has demanded an explanation as to why the Spectrum King had rejected the Law Ministry's proposal that the spectrum price should be fixed by an empowered group of ministers. Meanwhile, in a major shift in the spectrum allocation policies, Telecom Minister Kapil Sibal today announced that henceforth no license would be issued bundled with spectrum, and also the operators would have to pay a market price for an additional spectrum. He also announced that there would be a uniform rate of revenue share to be paid by the operators as spectrum charge to the government as part of the level playing field for all players.
I am aware of the fact that there are several issues now pending in courts. We have also given notices. We have also taken a decision to give more notices. for cancellation. Now, in the event the licenses are cancelled, then the dispensation will be under the new policy. The other thing that we are going to do is to have a uniform rate for everybody for revenue sharing. Right? All revenue sharing arrangements would be uniform, so that there is no telecom operator, because we want to make the service technology neutral, so that everybody is on a level playing field, no discrimination against anybody.
Now, legally and politically, today has been a day of setbacks for the Queen Bee. A special court today rejected her application seeking more time to point out defects in the translated evidence of all the 259 witnesses in the trial of the disproportionate assets case. Rejecting an application filed by the Defence Counsel earlier, a special court judge stated that wherever corrections were necessary, it would be taken into consideration at an appropriate stage. Meanwhile, the judge directed the interpreter to have a look at the defects pointed out by the defence in the translated evidence and compare it with the original version in Tamil. If there are any mistakes found, they will have to be furnished before the court in a week's time. Now, if that blow wasn't big enough, then came another in the form of Shekhar Babu, a man sidelined for long and stripped of his powerful posts in the AIADMK. MLA Shekhar Babu has finally knocked at the doors of Gopalapuram just ahead of the crucial assembly polls in the state. 2 days after several rumours of him switching camps made rounds, Mr. Babu today met the DMK patriarch and officially joined Karunanidhi's fold. The MLA confessed that he was dejected that his party leader had no faith or trust in him, and that triggered this crossover to the DMK. Ever since the DMK assumed power in 2006, the main opposition in the state has been losing its important second-line leaders and MLAs to the ruling party. Shekhar Babu has submitted his resignation letter from the MLA post to Karunanidhi and said that it was up to the DMK leader now to take a decision.
என்னை நம்பி அழைத்திருக்கின்ற தலைமையின் ஆதரவில் நம்பிக்கையோடு திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தில் என்னை நான் நினைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். என்னை அடித்து துவைக்க கைகளும் எட்டி உதைக்க கால்களும் குனிந்திருந்த நேரத்தில் இதோ அரவணைக்க நாங்கள் இருக்கின்றோம் என்று இரு கரங்களை நீட்டி தமிழகத்துடன் முதலமைச்சர் ஒப்பாரும் மிக்காரும் இல்லாத தலைவர் கலைஞர் அவர்கள் அணைக்க கரங்கள் நீட்டியதால் இன்றைக்கு திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தில் என்னை நான் இணைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன்.
And when asked about the trend of switching over from the AIADMK to the DMK camp, here's what the new entrant to the ruling party had to say.
திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை பொறுத்தளவில் இந்த இயக்கத்திற்கு ஒரே தலைவர் டாக்டர் கலைஞர் ஒருவர்தான். ஆனால் அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை பொறுத்தளவில் பொதுச் செயலாளர் என்று புரட்சி தலைவி அவர்கள் அந்த இயக்கத்தில் தொண்டர்களால் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளப்பட்டிருந்தாலும் பல்வேறு பொதுச் செயலாளர்கள் அந்த கட்சியிலே திரைமறைவில் இருப்பதால் தொடர்ந்து யாரும் மக்கள் செல்வாக்கு பெற்று தொண்டர்கள் செல்வாக்கு பெற்றவர்கள் யாரும் தொடர்ந்து அந்த இயக்கத்தில் இருக்க முடியாது என்று ஒரு நிலைக்கு இன்றைக்கு தள்ளப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள்.
But by the looks of it, it seems that the doors of the DMK have always been wide open for the former AIADMK MLA, with even the Deputy Chief Minister all praise for Babu's squeaky clean reputation.
நல்ல ஒரு சிறப்பான தொண்டர், உண்மையாக உழைக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு உத்தமர். அவர் திமுக சேர்ந்திருப்பது திமுகவுக்கு உள்ளபடியே ஒரு பெரிய சிறப்பான வரவேற்பு தலைவர் கலைஞர் கொடுத்திருக்கிறாரு. அதனால நல்ல ஒரு செயல் வீரர் திமுக சேர்ந்திருப்பது உள்ளபடியே எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் மகிழ்ச்சி அளிக்கிறது.
Well, just if you thought all of this was pretty much expected, here's something that comes as quite a surprise. Days after Karunanidhi hinted at retaining just the post of the president in his party for himself, leaving speculations rife about the heir to the chief minister's chair, brothers Arigiri and Stalin, who are often seen pitching battles against each other in this race, were the brothers in arms today. in visiting the town of Madurai, visiting Stalin met Union Minister Aragiri today with a special greeting ahead of his birthday tomorrow. Well, certainly a big day for the DMK, and the state of Shekhar Babu brought a smile to the face of the state supremo. The day closed with more good news for the Dravidian party. The Congress Youth Party president met the chief minister at his Gopalapuram residence today to thank him for renaming the city government hospital as Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital. This meeting became more special for both parties as the president has always been one of the most forthright critics of the DMK and a part of a group which has been quite vocal about ditching the DMK. Well, up ahead on the bulletin, for the Indian student in the US, a prisoner-like treatment is what he gets. They are now tagged by their sham universities.